Today's run gave me an opportunity to really reflect over the last couple of days and to really realise that I've been releasing an old pattern, and how important it is to allow ourselves the space, particularly at this time of year where it's quieter, supposedly, and darker in the evenings, to allow things to come to the surface and get released. Even though until the run today I didn't really realise what I've been doing, other than the fact that certainly the last 4 days have been really hard work. But then to begin to see the opportunity of hindsight and a clarity of a run with a glorious moon today, sorry, diversion, that I had all this space to allow myself the opportunity to work through all this. So it was absolutely fascinating that suddenly I could see the last 4 days as being that opportunity to change a pattern, to see or allow something to come to the surface, to allow myself to express the emotion that was needed, to give myself the rest that allowed this to bubble up, to feel the pain of why it's been held deep inside me, and to then give myself the opportunity to sit with it, to really understand why and where this was coming from, even though at the time I didn't realise that what was happening was I was being given the space to allow this to come to the fore. Things I was meant to do got cancelled, other choices I decided not to take up. Every time I went outside and was around people, I just didn't really want to be there. And so it was like, well, give yourself that space, give yourself that opportunity. Even though for some reason inside me, I just didn't want to see it or be alone with it or feel it in the way, because it was distressing and painful. And then yesterday I began to play a little bit more and to see something changing. I just spent most of the day deep into the archetype of the tarot. Just had all the 21 cards, trying to see patterns, seeing symbolism and how they were created, how they are formed, but also how I can then use them when I'm doing tarot readings with people. But it was also that sort of symbolism maybe for myself, that there was a pattern here that I was working with, but I wasn't seeing. And then literally towards the end of the day, I suddenly had this strong need to do things to myself about which was self-nurturing. So I did an ear candling session with me. After I'd done that, I then went and had a salt bath, something I don't often do, but felt a real strong need to do something comforting. And then I smudged the whole of the flat. Again, not something that I've done pretty regularly. And there is a note to self, I should do that more regularly. And then today I realised that that was because that was coming to an end. And as it was coming to an end today, everything that was happening, everything that I was working through has suddenly dropped in during the run. Being out in the landscape, running the landscape, being out in that quiet, I can see the pattern of probably the last 5 days coming in. It's really important to give ourselves this space to allow these things to emerge, to allow these things to come to the surface. to reveal these patterns and to allow them to move on. Even if you don't know how doing that is then going to play out, it is absolutely necessary that we give ourselves our alone time, our space time, to allow that to happen. I hope you have a lovely day.